Hey everybody, this is Kelly Jackson with the Signal, Not the Noise. I am here today to talk about what everybody is talking about today. I was not like really wanting to talk about this, but I saw a couple of things on Facebook and I want to make two, I feel like pretty quick points that I feel are relevant here that I've seen in a couple of places that I would like to share. The first point I want to make is that Sam Smith sold out. That's what a lot of some of the corners of the internet are implying, that essentially this guy is talented. He's a great singer. He's produced some really good music. But in order for him to really get the attention that he really deserves, he has to put on a dress. He has to become a different pronoun and whatnot. The Anthony Costello, this guy, I don't know who he is, but he made this point. Sam Smith, British singer, Grammys 2023. A few years wined and dined by the music cartels. He is now a Z, Zim, she, non-binary. So his time to shine and win the awards has arrived. Wear a dress, change your sex, you win prizes. And it's all sponsored by Pfizer. So he's got a really, really great point there. This is not edgy. This is not rock and roll. This is what corporate, selling out to corporate, that's what this looks like. So you don't get the attention, you don't get the awards, you don't get the things you really deserve from because of your talent until you start bending the knee and worshiping at the altar of corporate music, corporate period. Big pharma, obviously. Pfizer sponsored it. So there's that. That was one of the really good points I thought was worth mentioning. And the other really good point I thought was worth mentioning, it was just another regular guy in my feed, some guy named Mudflap, don't know who he is, but I felt like he made a really, really excellent point about how essentially we are all just appalled and we're all grossed out and we're all, running around like, with our hair on fire about how awful and satanic that performance was last night. And it was awful and satanic, no doubt. But they've been doing this for years, haven't they? I mean, essentially, this is nothing new under the sun. This guy's point was, while we're all being clutching our pearls and being appalled by this performance last night, he says Satan is not just that subtle. He's in fact, no, he's not. Sorry, he's not that obvious. He's more subtle than that. He is going to attack you in places where you're not looking, places where you're not expecting. Your spouse is maybe cheating on your taxes or cheating on you. Your kids might be involved in some kind of activity like shoplifting or doing drugs or who knows what else. Maybe you are toying with the idea of going and meeting with that high school friend that you had a crush on back in the day, and you think, oh, it's harmless. I'll just meet with them in person. It'll be like two old friends getting together. When in your heart, it's probably more than that. That is a connection to the Holy Spirit that if you have it, perhaps there's a disconnect there. And that could be due to a lack of attention in your prayer life or in your time in the word. I know I'm guilty of that myself. I get so busy and I just don't make the time. And then that relationship gets lost. When that relationship gets lost, there's a disconnect. And then things can happen. I think that Satan gets a lot more enjoyment out of stealing and robbing you and killing your joy in the subtle ways, where by the time you realize that he's been doing it, it's nearly too late. You're devastated. It's devastated you. And so I think it's sort of a call to, yeah, let's pay attention to culture. We need to be careful what our kids see. We need to be appalled. We need to push back. We need to cancel, boycott, use our money in other places that is good and wholesome and pure, but also keep an eye on the places that we aren't necessarily as attentive to in the day-to-day, the rush and the busyness. make sure he doesn't creep in there, because when he creeps in there, that's where he really can devastate you. Yeah, he can get into your schools because he's there. He can get into your media because he's there. He can affect the things your kids see. He gets into social media. He gets into their apps, all of that. But it's those small, subtle things that we really, really, really have to watch, and we have to be careful of. And we need to make sure that we know that within our my grandmother used to call it your knower, but I believe it's the Holy Spirit. Keep in tune to that and be aware of it, and keep it out of your home. And we all know the best way to do that is with prayer. So anyway, just wanted to talk about that for just a quick minute. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate your patronage, and I hope that you keep coming back, and I will keep trying to make it interesting. Thanks so much for joining me today on The Signal, Not the Noise. Have a great, great day.